Hello and welcome to this year's last video on my channel. What a year, right? Don't worry, this is indeed a review, but I'm not going to talk about how broken 2020 was. No, I'm just going to talk about me and my art, like this self-centered person that I am. So get comfortable, I have a lot to work through here. First, some fascinating statistics. In 2019, I set myself the goal to upload a video every week on YouTube. And I did it. I even uploaded one extra video in December. So in the beginning of 2020, I was thinking of something else to challenge myself with. Long story short, in addition to my videos, I would also post a finished illustration of some sort every week. Let's put that into some numbers. One painting per week means 53 paintings in a year. That sounds very intimidating. It did, at least to me. Another long story short, I managed to finish 77 paintings this year, which isn't even including my bullet journal artwork. Yeah, let's just digest that for a moment, okay? I was shocked myself. Well, I'm also really proud of myself, but also shocked. How? Okay, first of all, of course there are artists out there who paint way more and better. But also, quantity isn't equal to quality, and the whole thing depends on so many individual things I'm not even attempting to list here. So please don't compare yourself to me or anyone else for your own sanity. Unless you use it for inspiration and get really motivated, then go for it. Okay, where was I? Yeah, right. 77 paintings. I mainly used watercolor, inks and colored pencils and painted most often on A5 or bigger formats. 25 of these paintings were done in my Mossery watercolor book, 2 in my big leather-bound book, 7 were processed further into bookmarks, and 43 are painted on loose sheets of paper. These 43 also include my first 2 paid commissions and all my Inktober illustrations. But that are enough numbers for now. Let's get to the actual wrap-up. I started the year by breaking in my Mossery sketchbook with the Greenhouse, Geralt of Rivia and my Ocean Creatures series in watercolor. I also participated in an Instagram art challenge for the first time ever. It was the one for the 2OnMe hashtag, which I don't really understand what that actually means until today. But anyways, this is my self-portrait and the post. February was nothing but my Ocean Creatures. I turned these into my first stickers later this year. In March, I concluded the Ocean Creatures and came up with my postcard video format, which are kind of mini vlogs including a postcard-sized painting. The first one was this piece of Swedish chocolate cake. The Aura Quartz crystals on the next page is one of my favorites this year. I even got a combination of 2 of them tattooed on my sternum and made them into stickers as well. Lumos was a present for my nephew, who is obviously a Harry Potter fan and also really likes to draw and paint. In April, I started what has become my most elaborate series of paintings so far. On the day of Beltane, I uploaded the first Witches' Sabbats illustration in an attempt of Art Nouveau style. As you know from last week's video, this series is still going. There are 2 Sabbats left for 2021. The only other thing I did in April were my Albrecht Dürer-inspired Sun and Moon, painted in ink in my big leather-bound book. In May, I got sucked into the manga Beastars, and after some one-line roller skate shenanigans, I created my first, out of my own mind, not copied from official art, piece of fan art. I called it Legacy in Quarantine. It was also the first time that I limited myself to a small color palette here, so that I wouldn't end up finding it too colorful like I did with Beltane. This worked really well for me and is now a fixed part of my process of painting. June brought out my Ghibli redraw of Laputa, my iced tea illustration for the postcard video, a portrait of my D&D character Una, and the second one of my Witch Sabbat paintings, Lytha. I also completed my first ever paid commission for a government project in the county of Ludwigslust-Parchim. My friend Teresa, who lives and works there, got me the job, so thank you for that. The last one in June I have here is the little Maybug illustration for my friend's baby. In July, I painted another portrait of my new D&D character Viveke and the Sabbat Llamas. At this point, I had stepped up my watercolor game a lot already. I think looking back at the Sabbats especially shows that really well. Of course, there's always room to improve and I will definitely do that, but I'm also really content of where I'm at already. By doing Una and Viveke, I had rediscovered my love for portrait painting and drew my brother in colored pencil in August. Then a postcard of Hannes swimming in the Baltic Sea and a fan art portrait of my favorite book protagonist, Special Agent Pendergast, followed. Fun story, I tagged one of the book's authors on the Instagram post and he liked it! I know it's cheesy, but it made me really happy. I was also commissioned by the same client again and painted another image for a campaign that was about volunteering in their county. In September, I messed around with that one-line drawing style a bit for my Home Alone postcard, tried some landscape painting of a fjord and completed yet another witch's sabbat for Mabon. And then Inktober hit me like a train. I have uploaded a whole wrap-up video of that challenge already, so I just flipped through the illustrations here quickly. But for all who don't know, I painted hands in black ink and finished all of them around the 20th of October, so that I had time left for another witch's sabbat. Samhain was a huge project for me, not only because it is one of the main holidays in the world of nature religions, but also one of my favorite times of the year. So I wanted it to be special. Fast forward, Samhain is the most elaborate and most detailed painting in this series so far, and also took me the longest to complete. But I love it. Pretty hungover from Inktober, I didn't do much in November and uploaded some old work instead. The only 2 pieces are completed were the postcard portrait of my friend Sandra and my first ever Draw This in Your Style contribution of Laovan's character Darius. In December, Yule was due for the Sabbath series, and for the first time the finished piece looks like how I planned the concept initially. Also, Hannes asked for a pretty bookmark for Christmas, and with that I discovered my new passion. I haven't had crafted anything useful in ages, and with those bookmarks I even combined painting and this therapeutic process of cutting, gluing and watching how something takes its final form. I made 7 of them, all water themed. They are called Particles, Fluorescent, Ocean Waves, Water Lilies, Flow, Frozen and River Rocks. And that were all the paintings I completed in 2020. In the beginning I said that I didn't include my bullet journal, but because I put a lot of work into it and I'm not going to do a proper flip through this year, I wanted to show you my favorite front pages. Just for fun. Hogwarts in March, Wilde See in May, D&D in July, and Books and Flowers in September. I posted detailed pictures of those on my Instagram, so have a look there if you're interested. And now, the 78th and last painting of this year, while I'm talking about how I'm going to proceed in 2021. To be honest, I'm not really sure what exactly I want to do yet. The only thing I know is that I need to change up things a bit. The last 2 years I mainly focused on creating content for social media. That was fine and I'm definitely going to continue that since it is a great way to get stuff out there and to push myself to finish things, but, and that's a nasty but, this year the value that comes from doing it didn't match up the effort that I was putting into it. What does that mean? Well, I talked a little bit about it in my last Join Me Journaling video, but I will explain a bit further now. You know, let's take the example of my journal videos then. It takes a lot of time and effort to produce these. I'm not going to complain here, don't worry, I'm just telling you so you can put this in perspective. Alright, so I have to come up with an idea. Plan this idea, find references, sketch out the setup and then paint it. The process of painting is filmed, so whenever I set down a pen or brush, I have to make sure that the lighting is correct, that there's enough room on my memory card, that the batteries of my camera are charged, that the journal is in frame and that my head isn't. Then, after collecting hours of footage, it needs to be exported. I search for fitting music, write a voiceover, edit the video, take photos, edit a thumbnail and upload it to YouTube. That whole process takes days. And then the video gets 20 clicks. Most of them for my friends and family. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. And after a week, the video vanishes in the algorithm. Counterexample, I pick up my camera, film my everyday life, export the footage, find fitting music, have much fun editing the footage and upload a vlog. It gets 100 clicks in the first 10 hours. I'm not saying that vlogs aren't valuable videos to produce, but for real now. It's much easier to do, and I for myself like watching them back more than any other of my formats. In conclusion, I'm not going to stop posting videos, but I'm going to stop putting so much pressure on myself. forcing myself to come up with new, innovative stuff every week. I love my postcard videos, so I continue these. And also the occasional speed paint or draw with me video will come. But in general, I'm going to vlog a lot more, documenting my journey of becoming a full-time artist. As for Instagram, I'm not going to elaborate here, but I'll be focusing on art content only there. This year I posted 3 times a week on Tuesday, Friday and Sunday. But next year I'll loosen up things a bit and post, whenever there is something to post. And finally, my big goal for 2021 is to push my career towards actually earning a living. I'm going to produce and publish some more Skillshare classes, launch a portfolio website, eventually open up a shop with stickers, prints and bookmarks, and take commissions for portraits. Art-wise, I'll improve my figure drawing since I'd really like to draw and paint people from scratch. I also want to sketch and mess around a whole lot, be it with different media, styles or what have you. Wow, it felt really good to say these things out loud. I hope you enjoyed this 2020 art wrap-up of mine. Tell me in the comments how your year went. I'd also really like to know which videos you'd like to see from me in the future. See you next week, in the new year, with my version of Vlogmas. Bye!